Hi everyone, it is Fitz with your post-game talk after Kansas State handles Arizona 31-7 Friday night at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. A really impressive performance by this Kansas State team. They gave up a touchdown on the first possession of the game as Arizona went the length of the field, ate up a good 7 minutes off the clock. Down 7-0, K-State gets the ball, goes way down the field, about 7 minutes off the clock, and ties it at 7-7. And it looked like the game was going to be really back and forth because the drives looked much alike. And then everything changed. K-State held Arizona, and then Dylan Edwards goes 71 yards on a punt return. Touchdown. And it was impressive. I just want to say this. Of all the things that made me happy about the way K-State played, to see Kansas State special teams return to what they should be is significant. And we saw the importance of that tonight at the Bill. I don't know how this game turns out if Dylan doesn't do that. I mean, keep in mind, it was just 14-7 at halftime after K-State kind of messed up their final possession of the first half. So, I mean, 14-7 and getting the ball to start the second half is pretty significant compared to 7-7. And special teams, once again, changed the tone of a game. I think what I liked the most about this game for K-State, it was methodical. They weren't scoring points with big plays. They weren't shutting down drives with huge plays other than Keenan Garber with an incredible interception early in this game. They just churned the ball up the field, and they just stifled a really good Arizona offense. They put them in third down situations and held them on conversions to about 1/3 success. A great passer in Fita and a receiver in McMillan. McMillan had 11 catches, but his damage was pretty limited at 138 yards and no touchdowns. So in a way, it was kind of frustrating to watch him catch a lot of balls and pick up a lot of first downs, but they never let him come up with a huge play, and neither did Fifita. K-State's defense after that first drive was absolutely brilliant, completely dominating this game. As Coach Kleiman, after the game, if he felt like from the very start his team was winning the line of scrimmage in both directions, and he said, yeah, because they were pushing Arizona's defensive line back, and Kansas State's defensive line was playing in the Arizona backfield much of the night. And while they didn't really get Fifita very much, they ran him. They ran him hard. It made him throw the ball from awkward positions, and often because the coverage was so good on the back end, he had no one to throw it to. But let's talk about the changes in the K-State offense, because Connor Riley, who's taken heat the first two games, regular season games now, as offensive coordinator at Kansas State, he totally called a different game. He opened it up like we thought he would. He wanted Avery to run the ball like we thought he would. But the very first play of the game was Avery Johnson with Dylan Edwards and DJ Giddens flanking him. And they didn't show that much the rest of the game until later, until that third quarter. And in the middle of the third quarter, K-State is up 21-7. And they take the ball over and start driving. But they go to that combination, and it stresses the defense so much, they just couldn't pick their poison. It's not like you got to guess between the quarterback and a running back. You're getting multiple opportunities for him to hand off or keep the ball. And Arizona tried to take away the running backs for really the first time, and they paid a price. Avery Johnson goes for 110 yards on 17 carries. Now, those weren't all designed. Arizona did actually a pretty good job getting pressure on him, sacked him 3 times, first time he's been sacked this year. And yet he found a way to pick up first downs. He ran with more authority, more purpose in this game than he has this season. And I had asked him about it kind of awkwardly, honestly, on Monday at the press conference. And as soon as he walked into the press conference today, he said, "How was that?" Like, that was pretty good. And here's the thing, and I'm going to get into this in tomorrow's DD. That's still not what Avery Johnson can do on the football field. There's still a lot more. This was a huge win, not because it counted the conference standings, because it didn't. It was a non-conference game, so the ramifications of it, other than the fact that maybe it could be used as a tiebreaker at the end of the year, still no clarification from that on the Big 12. I don't know what they'd do with that. It should be, but you know them. So this just really made a statement. Arizona was expected to be another contender, and they came in here pretty confident they could win this game. I'm just going to be real honest. I'm not sure the Pac-12 teams are quite ready for the physicality of the Big 12. As I mentioned, K-State was blowing Arizona off the ball. Their first scoring drive, the offensive line was moving them back a yard or two on almost every play. And DJ Giddens was able to operate. And when Dylan Edwards did touch the ball, he was fairly effective. But here's the thing. They were determined to take Dylan Edwards away. And that opened up things for Avery Johnson and DJ Giddens. Avery threw the ball pretty well. He still can throw it better. And had a couple touchdowns at tight ends, which apparently is his preference now. But Kansas State moves to 3-0. And now they have an extra day of preparation before they go to BYU next Saturday for a very late game. That will kick at 9:30 Central. 8:30 out there, so it's a late game in the Mountain Time Zone. But we will be there. Ryan Gilbert and myself will be in Provo for that game as Kansas State tries to win the first Big 12 game of the season and move to 4-0. But for now, K-State's 3-0, feeling good. Avery Johnson looked good. The defense was masterful. And oh yeah, special teams are back.